Measure S is really progeny of a study and report that was done by the Blue Ribbon Commission on Jail Overcrowding, a commission which I put together very shortly after I took office as sheriff. We brought you copies of the executive summary of their report. Their basic recommendation was that we need to build a new jail, but we need to do it smaller, limited in size than what had previously been recommended. Previously it was recommended to be 800 beds. This is a recommendation for 300 beds in conjunction with significant funding for recidivism reduction, intervention, and programming. Those two are inextricably linked. In other words, this size jail won't work on its own. We'd fill it up in a heartbeat, and we'd be right back to the same problem that we're in now. Be to bolster law enforcement and fire services throughout Santa Barbara County, services which have been drastically cut during the past 3 years as a result of the economic downturn. The monies that would be provided for the prevention, intervention, and recovery programs would also either create or save jobs throughout the county, and the frontline public safety money would create or save jobs throughout the county as well. So it's a significant economic impact that would come to the county. To pay for all of this, we're asking for a 1/2 cent sales tax that would be dedicated for 14 years. The 1/2 cent sales tax would take effect on July the 1st, and we have a very unique opportunity to enact this tax pretty painlessly. That's because on June the 30th, the state's 1% temporary sales tax is scheduled to roll back. So in other words, our current rate of 8.75% will go down, and this tax would take effect the next day. So the net effect on the consumer would be 8.75 on one day, 8.25% on the next day, still having all the benefits of Measure S.
Measure S would invest $5 million a year in recidivism reduction programs alternative to incarceration. In our reentry project, we spent about $4,000 a year per client, where we got those excellent results. That's a financial winner because it costs $40,000 a year to put somebody in the state prison. If we spent that much per client with the Measure S funds, we'd be able to work with 1,250 people a year getting out of jail or as an alternative to going to jail.
Ills and social problems that have a direct correlation to what happens with crime, and oftentimes there's a lot of crossovers from substance abuse, mental illness, gang involvement, and you have to have a blended approach to try to address those problems. It can't be strictly incarceration, but on the same token, it can't be strictly prevention or intervention. There has to be a blend of those three. Like everything else in life, there has to be balance. A lot of what the reentry project works on is how can we get you better prepared, how can we need to help you initially with a place to stay. We need to train you, give you a vocational skill. A lot of these people aren't very marketable in the first place when they go into jail. And now they come out of jail with a criminal record, which makes them even less marketable to employers. So we have to say, what kind of skills, what kind of assistance can we give to people to make them better prepared to come back and be successful as they come back in the facility.